Okay.
Coach, obviously Tyler training to play tonight. Can you just talk about the general excitement of what that means for this team, and will there be a minutes restriction on him tonight?
I'm really excited for Tyler. I know how much work he's been putting in, but I know how much he wanted to be ready for training camp. I literally went to one of his workouts in late July before I went on vacation, and he looked amazing. And then when I came back middle of August, he was starting to feel that it was off. But you know, it's exciting for the group. It's exciting for him, and we just want to start this process, which I don't think it'll be a major adjustment.
Obviously, Tyler's back, but Norm now is out. The injury, I guess he tweaked on Friday in Chicago. Was there a setback since then? And
No. I think the bigger thing was that it was a back-to-back. We'll treat him day to day. I don't have a timeline on it, but the level of concern is not super high.
Spo, you referenced to talking about Tyler about you don't think it'll be a big adjustment. Have you had to have a conversation with him as far as what you expect from him in this offense? We haven't had to see him in it, and just that.
It's not like process. He hasn't been working behind the scenes. Did I have a discussion with him today? No, but we've had a lot of practices, shoot-arounds, a lot of discussions, since training camp about how he can fit in. This is just going to be a absolute add. His skill level is going to fit right in, and we're familiar with him. He's familiar with us. So yes, there's some things we're doing, a little differently offensively, but defensively, he's been with us, for a long time. He's been with our culture. He was on a really good defensive team last year. So I think it's an exciting day. I'm happy for him, and I'm happy, that we can start this process with him in the mix.
Erik, for those who have not seen you guys a whole lot this year, what was the moment, or is there an epiphany that last year 27th in pace, this year you're first, historically like the fastest pace in 44 years? What brought you to that moment where you said, we got to change?
Yeah, I mean, what I've told everybody in this room several times, we were absolutely outclassed and embarrassed in a really bad way in the playoffs. Last time we walked off this floor, we got beat by 55. I mean, it was almost like a misprint. It's the most embarrassing thing I've ever been a part of. The locker room felt the same way, and we had plenty of time to reevaluate things during the off season. We were done, and it wasn't even May, and we were done. So we had plenty of time to work on things, and then we just wanted to be open-minded. The first day of camp, I said I would just want to embrace the unknown, and I viewed that as a good thing. There's some possibilities here, but I also want for there to be and continue to be surprises as the season goes along.
Was there someone specifically that you spoke to who had experience playing that way and having?
I mean, there are a lot of people that contributed to this. It's been well documented. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel. We're not trying to trick people. We just want to do something that made sense for our team, and then to be open to it. I said in the preseason, I was asked every game, where would our pace be? And I said, I don't know. Like, the season will let us know. We'll adjust as we go. And it kind of fed on itself, and we'll continue to see where it goes. It has to make sense. Like, for us, we wanted to do something that made sense for this roster, to look at things, in a different way. If we had a different roster, maybe it would make more sense. I see across the league there's a lot of really intelligent plans, that make sense for teams, and that's not our team, not our roster.
Erik, you were around Cooper Flagg when he was a member of the U.S. Select Team a couple summers ago. What stood out to you about him then, and how have you seen his game evolve?
Yeah, I think probably more than anything, I've always just been impressed with his competitive spirit, but also how competitively mature he is for his age. He's not even 19 yet. Is that correct? I mean, that's crazy. The one and done guys anyway, when they come in at 19, usually turn 20, at some point. But he's a year younger than that, and he's been on the scene, with a lot of expectations for several years. That's a lot to carry. And he's been able to respond in a way where he just competes in a way where it's winning basketball. And to have that kind of maturity where you're not just stat hunting. If I was 17, 18 in his shoes, I'd be stat hunting like crazy. But he has, just uncommon maturity.
Eric, when Steve Kerr was in Florida last week, he talked about pace and injuries and soft tissue and his concerns and all that. With Norm now going through a strain, and you see strain all over the injury report now, is there? Do you think now that there's been a few days for it to sink in, is there anything to it? Do you think, or is this just
there potentially could be? But look, how much we have to disclose now. You wouldn't even say Norm's injury was a strain 10 years ago. You just say he's sore. And then you have to say it's what grade it is. I don't know. I see that the game is being played faster, which is true. The competitive defense and the extending of the defense is covering more ground than it used to. The 4 or 5 out, requires a lot more closeouts into space, into three-point space, into closing to 26 feet. Sometimes, so you're moving your body in different ways. Guys train for it, probably better than they used to. So I don't know where the line is right now with us. Knock on wood, what we're dealing with right now with the 3 guys is manageable, right now. And so we'll just, we'll see where that is. They're all day to day, which I'm super grateful for. All right, thank you.